right.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Respective Perspective, the Instagram live debate show. This is a show where four people from different walks of life come together to debate on topics that are popular, unpopular, relevant, and controversial. We're bringing it real and uncut while still respecting each other's perspectives. Now, meet your host.
All right, guys, we're going to try this one more time. I know y'all was watching on our Facebook account and stuff, but we're going to do this one more time. Again, I got my four co-hosts here, Indy, Keish, and Tay. We'll be doing intros a little bit later, but I just want to get right back to it. And I'm going to replay the video real quick, and then we're going to go right back to, and I want y'all to run through y'all responses really quickly, and then I'm going to tell you mine before it gets dirty on us again.
Can you separate allegations and or even truths from good artists' music?
Can you celebrate different allegations? Can you separate different allegations or truths from certain artists? Indy, you said what?
I basically said it's not my job to do that. Like as a fan, I shouldn't have to do that. Your artistry should be reflective of your music, and your music should be reflective of your truth. So I shouldn't have to sit here and split hairs to figure out if whatever. And I gave the example of this new artist called Trim. I love her music. By the way, I'm a big fan. But she raps about having a big ass and throwing ass on niggas and shit. And when you see her, she has like the body of like a 19-year-old girl like in college. She's not shapely. So should her music reflect her actual lifestyle, her body? You know, and all these rappers that rap about having millions of dollars, but then you see them in the tabloids and they're broke. Should their music reflect their actual life? That's all.
Tay?
But so Indy just had me think about something from his perspective of how you were looking at the question. I feel like music is entertainment, right? So if it's, I think that some artists, they do tell transparent, they use their life and turn it into music or whatever, but music is entertainment purposes. So maybe she feels like she's throwing it because little booties matter. You know what I'm saying? So maybe she
Little
does
booties
feel
matter.
maybe she really does feel like that. But what I had shared earlier about the R. Kelly situation is that for me, I can separate it. He's a man. He was a freak. He wanted to do what he wanted to do, but that doesn't take away from his talent, doesn't take away from his art. So when I listen to him, I'm listening to the music. I'm not listening to saying, ooh, R. Kelly is X, Y, and Z, because there's a lot of people that do things that we have no idea about. He just got caught. You know what I'm saying?
But Tay, with all due respect, that's what he's saying about too. So you there is really no separation. Isn't he the guy that said bump and grind? My body saying this, my mind's telling me that. Like he's saying about the same lifestyle we caught him in.
Right.
He's also the same guy that called himself the Pied Piper. And if you know the story of the Pied Piper, it's somebody who led children out of the community into a place that they shouldn't go. He's also the same person. Well, we won't go there. But my point is this. If you use him as an example, the artistry of the music.
I mean, artists are artists, so right? You will have to use him as an example. He's a prime example.
Then the music and the artistry were parallel. They were together.
Does that mean that because I listen to R. Kelly, I'm in agreement with his lifestyle?
That wasn't the question. The question is
maybe self-consciously.
That wasn't your question. Your question was, do you separate the artist from the music? And what my point is, to Tay's point is, there wasn't a separation to begin with. He's saying about what he was doing. We just realized it was a crime.
Yeah, but I think the question is asking morally in your not the literal if their music is their life, but can you as a person say, hey, I don't condone this, so I can't support you anymore, or I don't care about that because that has nothing to do with what I love as far as your music is concerned. So I feel like that's the angle she's coming in at it, as far as like, you know, do I morally care enough, or does it morally bother me to still turn him on or buy his record, knowing that he's still doing this or did this, whatever case it be. Keith, what are we
well, then R. Kelly's an old example. Chris Brown is a newer example.
Well, P. Diddy's the newest example.
No, what's the guy that shot Megan Thee Stallion? He's the newest example.
Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Keith. What's your thing?
I say you can't. I say, well, according to the question, I would say for me, no, because I still like certain artists who have had allegations out about. I still listen to their music. Their music's still a bop for me. So, like I said earlier, it's just when you don't dance on certain people, on the certain ones, when you're no longer dancing on their tightrope, it tends to, you know, certain things come out and certain things happen. But I feel like it doesn't take away from that person's talent. Whitney Houston, we still love you. I know I do. I still love Whitney Houston. I still love Michael. I still love Chris Brown music. You know, it's just it's music, and it's my people music. So I'm always going to be a fan of my music. You know.
And so I understand all of those concepts, but when do we say, okay, my self entertainment surpasses humanity, right? Surpasses. So, okay, my take on the question is, yes, I cannot separate it, right? I can't separate the because to me, like to Indy's point, I feel like if that was what he was doing in his real life, his music reflected that, even if he didn't mean to intend to write it. So when he's saying, my mind is saying no, but my body's saying, yeah, are you talking to that 12-year-old? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, I can't say you're a freak. I can't say you're a freak. I can't use the terminology freak when minors are involved. I can't use the terminology when trafficking is involved. I can't use that terminology when all of these other things are involved. Now, if it was, let's say Trey Songz, right? I can say he's a freak, right? Apparently he gave someone allegedly herpes or anything like that and sexual diseases and stuff, right? I can still listen to him, right? Because, right, one is still alleged, right? I don't know for sure, whatever the case may be. But I can call that you're a freak, right? You're fucking all these people, which cause you to catch an STD to then transfer the STD. That's a freak, right? But what's not a freak is someone attracted to minors. What's not a freak is someone that's doing disgusting things. And I just can't push that past. I have an example, right? A real life example. He's a local artist, right? But he's someone, oh my God. Because I know people that know me that know who I'm going to talk about. But he's someone that I worked with, right? And we found out through other people that he's in Atlanta from another state because he failed to subscribe himself to the sex offenders list, right? He has charges, black and white charges of sexually assaulting a minor, his minor at that, his kid, a baby, infant, whatever case may be. Now, he is.
I'm gonna help you out. Allegedly.
I think I need to get off this live. I need to get off the live. I need to get off the live.
Allegedly, but it's
I need to get off the live. I need to get off this live. I need to get off this live.
But look, I just want to say
I'm uncomfortable.
Right? The sweetest man. Right. Listen, he is the sweetest man that I've ever encountered. He is. The work ethic is amazing. Right? The work ethic is amazing. But I can't condone if that's true. So if it is true, I don't know if it's true or not, right? Because she could have AI'd that paperwork for all I know. Right? But if I can't condone it, so one, I can't work with you. One, I can't be your friend. I can't support anything you do. Simple as that.
Let's get back to the question.
But that
Can we
is the
go back to what was the question? Let's just go and move on here. What's the next question? Let's just move along.
What
Move
are you
right
scared
along.
of? What are you scared of?
It's not bad. I don't have nothing to say. You said your answer. I'm not scared of anything. You said your answer. I just said let's move on.
But y'all maneuvered weirdly. What did I say that was like, oh my God, that made y'all react that way?
I don't have. I'm trying to figure out. That was the first icebreaker. I'm trying to next icebreaker.
I was just trying to realize what the reaction was.
So all I'm gonna say is from a music lover.
All that.
From a music lover's perspective, you all have definitely helped me have a different perspective. Maybe I need counseling because I'm going to continue to listen to the people's music. But I thought about morally, let's say that if a white artist had a song that was like, fuck niggas, niggas ain't shit, kill the niggas, send them back to Africa, I would probably be on a platform hollering, you with this type of music isn't right. So I guess I'm double standarding, but I'm sorry. I'm going to continue to play Bad Boy, Take That, Take That. I'm going to continue to play R. Kelly. I'm going to continue to do those things. So there's a lot of people that are.
Can I ask you a question before you continue? Had one of those incidents happened to maybe someone close to you, not you, but maybe someone close to you, someone that you knew that they were one of the victims, will you still feel that way?
Yes, because I have a.
So if R. Kelly sexually assaulted your niece, your mom, you will still listen to R. Kelly
because I have a personal connection to it. At that,
you don't have a personal connection to your family that got sexually assaulted by him.
No. If R. Kelly had slept with my underage niece or whatever the case may be, and she was a part of that, then of course I have a personal connection to it. So I'm gonna have an issue with it. But right now, I'm sorry. I don't, because I don't know. Did the parents do? There's so many things that don't have nothing to do to
I agree, but there's just too many incidences that it's not just all the parents, all probability. So I'm gonna keep the math is not mathing for all the parents to accept it.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. When I was underage, when I was 16, 17, 15, 16, 17. I was messing with dudes that was 21, 22.
So it's their fault? It's the victim's fault?
That's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, because I had my little hot tail out there, R. Kelly.
Well, let me tell you something. I always joke that if I was famous enough, I would have been right at those industry parties, not saying a word, in my millions in my mansion. But that's me personally, for me. But I don't know. I just can't get down with. Now with Diddy, for somebody like Diddy, right? It's hard. It is a harder conversation because he's a part of not only his own, but so many other people's music, right? He's a producer. He's a, you know what I mean? So he like, you know, Biggie, if you talk about Diddy, you have to talk about so many other people. So would I cancel them? No. But his particular music, I don't need Diddy's music. Like it really hasn't, his particular songs hasn't really impacted my life. I like some of them, but his particular songs hasn't really impacted my life, like maybe a 112 song or a Biggie or something like that.
So you're saying you would counsel? I got a question. So you're saying you would counsel? So you're okay with counseling Diddy?
Yeah.
So counseling Diddy means that you don't use his memes or his stuff to get likes and views if you counsel him.
Yeah, but I'm talking shit about him too.
Oh, but you counsel him. So if I counsel somebody, I'm not gonna literally have a poster on my wall with oh, I hate you and all that on it. If you counsel them, that means that you don't deal with them. It's a for them. In my head.
Maybe your version of it is different than my version, and that's okay too.
But so that's double-sided. So that's like you're on both sides of the fence.
You know what? That's
counsel the man. You counsel the man. But why would you go up there and then make all that about him? So are you a fan or you're not a fan? It's basically, do you like the man or you don't?
My content shows that I'm not a fan.
You're what?
I said my content shows that I'm not a fan.
No, it shows that you're a fan. It shows that you are a fan. Your
Okay,
content
that's your
shows.
perspective. That's why the show is called Respective Perspective, because
No, it's not the
belongs to
perspective. It
everyone.
just shows if someone's constantly doing that, that shows that it's not, it gives like a hate versus like a love-hate
And some
relationship for
people
that
think
person.
that gays are going to hell, and I don't believe that. So if that's their perspective, I can allow that to happen.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about
But I'm
Diddy.
saying
We're not talking about that. That ain't got nothing to do with the
just
privacy
because
in
you think
China.
that,
That ain't got nothing to do with the privacy
it's not
in
fact.
China. We're
Because you
talking
think
about
that
this
it's not
tea,
fact.
and this tea is
It's not
Diddy.
fact. Because you think
That
that
ain't
it's
got nothing
not
to do with
fact.
that. I don't know about that.
That's
I don't know nothing about
that's your
that.
perspective.
I don't know nothing about that.
That's your perspective.
I was just saying what I saw on Instagram in the blogs.
Well, you told me to get my metro together. Get your metro together too.
That was last week, Reed. That was a last week, Reed.
You were
Last week. That was last week. Catch up this week. Catch up.
Well, I think it's this week. Friday and Friday after next, and Friday next Friday and Friday after next were all hits.
First, your mama,
Next one.
your wife, or
I'm sorry, it flew through so fast I couldn't.
Wow.
Yeah, I missed it.
first, your mama, your wife,
Your
or
wife.
your serious significant other,
Or your serious-
daughter.
or your daughter, baby girl. Third,
I'll play again.
First, your mama, your wife,
Your
or
wife.
your serious significant other,
or your serious-
daughter.
or your daughter, baby girl. Third,
All right, what he said was, who's more important, your mother, your wife, or significant other, or your child? Name what comes in order.
Ooh, yeah.
Go ahead, Keith. Well, your man, your husband, your mother, or your child. Name what comes first in the order that it goes.
I would say for me it would be it would be my mom. Then it would
Number
be
one.
my mom, my man, and then my child. Or my child, my mom, my mom, my man, my child.
Okay. Tay.
That is hard for me. I don't have children, but and I don't have a man, so my mom,
Not yet.
my mom, my man, and my child. Yeah.
Go ahead, Indy.
I'm choosing my wife.
Dan.
Oh, like we have to okay. I'm choosing my wife, then I'm choosing my kids, and then I'm choosing my significant other if I have one. I don't understand what that is. It could be like a cousin, I guess, or like a best friend. And then the last thing I'm choosing is my mother.
It said girl or they're trying to include gays and stuff. You know what I mean? Because
Oh, it said what? I'm sorry. It kept cutting out. I couldn't hear all the options. But what did it say?
It was giving you an option of a girl, man, or significant other, like meaning like those are the all the same thing.
Oh, then I chose right then.
I'm in agreement with Indy. I choose in my case, my husband, my child, then my mother. Now, I love my mother. Don't get me wrong, but in that circumstance, if I have a husband, then he has to come first, right? My immediate family will have to come first, and then everything else.
And so, who got left off the list?
And I will hope that my mom wants that for me. You said
Who got
what?
left off? Who got left off the list for you?
Nobody got this. It's three of them. It's your man,
Oh,
wife, or significant other, and your child.
I thought it was 4. My bad. Okay.
Why your mom first? Because you don't have a man, but in the perspective of having a husband and a child, would you still choose your mom?
I would, because I'm a mama's. That's my girl. So, but not to put religion in this. Technically, if I did have a spouse that we were married, I would put my spouse before my mother and my child. So, if I was married, it would be my spouse, my children, and my mother. But because from a single perspective, right now, answering honestly, it would be my mom, my child, and my baby. So.
And my response came from a religious perspective too, because that's the same order for me.
I mean, mine will come from a religious perspective, but also not a religious perspective. It's also, I feel like, my instinct. You know, I think the person that I choose to love is the person that I'm choosing to be first, right? If I choose you to be that's the purpose of being my one, right? You being the one, right? Because that's what you are, the one. You're one person. You know, my mom has her one, well, or had her one, if they're still together or not together, whatever case may be. But now it's time for me to find my one.
I would agree with that, but dating, you know what I'm saying? So one, if we're married, definitely, right? But if that's just my baby daddy, we putting them down to the.
That's just my baby daddy. That's just my baby daddy.
Y'all are hilarious.
Where's Keisha? I want to do this next video.
We're gonna have to fill him in on a question because I think he went to go get a biscuit.
Answer a phone call, some.
All right, so this one's a little bit more controversial. So let's get into it.
A lot of don't cancel me, please don't cancel me, y'all, please. But I grew up with a lot of Hispanics and a lot of black people growing up on the southeast side. Yeah. So hearing them say nigga all the time, like it was never an issue. Mm-hmm. They would say it around all my other friends that were black and including myself that's black. You know what I mean? Like it didn't.
So I come from a very diverse place, and I come from a melting pot of Puerto Ricans, blacks, well, Hispanics, blacks, whites, everybody. It wasn't a lot of whites, but there were a few. And where I come from, you know, I grew up hearing nigga all the time. And it honestly, I understand where it comes from, because where I come from, everyone said it without a problem. And the people that were around that were non-black saying it, the black community never did check them, say anything about it. It was just all, I felt like who we were, what was going on. It was being a product of your environment, more or less than just trying to be black or trying to, take on a stereotype that's not yours. So, I kind of understand that video where it's like, I don't really, I just think the context behind it means a lot. And I just feel like I can tell, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been around people that are non-black and, don't even got no color to them that have said it, like I said, around others. Like we've been in the hood chilling on the block or whatever case it be, and nothing is said about it. Like it's okay from everybody. So what is your perspective? Anybody can go.
So, this is like the question that people be going on and on about this, about, if you should say it, is it right, X, Y, and Z. I think, in my personal opinion, it's the context in which it's used for me, right? And so I think that if you know the difference when someone is saying it like to be derogatory or be offensive to someone, and you know when someone is just using it as, unfortunately, a term of endearment, right? Like, it's just a slang. It's something that, has been accepted in our culture, right, wrong, indifferent, it has been. So for me, I have biracial siblings, you know what I'm saying? Which has led me to have white relatives in my family. And I have heard them, sing it in a song. They repeat the lyrics to the song and they just sing it along and not thinking nothing about what they said. And I don't take offense to it. But I was gonna say something, but I ain't gonna say if Trump, but I ain't on that because that's not what we was talking about. So I'm gonna go on mute. That's my 2 cents.
Indy, and then we'll inform what the video was for Keish.
Personally, I know African Americans who take issue with the word being used themselves. So I don't think it has anything to do with your race or your identity. As long as there are African Americans who say that that word should not be used, that's the actual issue. And not to disagree with Tay, but it's just like at this point, whoever you're standing in front of, if they don't want you to say the N-word, you should not say it in front of them. It should be more like a personal respect thing versus a racial thing at this point, because everybody has their personal opinions about it, and it's not worth getting into this esoteric, generalized conversation about. It should be more like personalized. I'm with my friend. Tiffany doesn't like when I say the N-word, so I'm not gonna say it around her because I respect Tiffany. It shouldn't be like Tiffany's black, so therefore she has to deal with me saying nigga all night. Like that should not be okay because that's a disrespect to her personal space. That's just my opinion. I'm out.
So Keish, the video was a biracial guy. He was black and white, stating that he's okay with non-blacks saying nigga because where he's from is a melting pot, and they all grew up around each other and they all say nigga and no one gets mad and all of this stuff like that. And I agreed to his statement because where I grew up in North New Jersey, it was the same exact way. So what is your take on non-black saying nigga with the context of it being endearing? Like, they come from the hood. They have, they grew up with urban communities and in the hoods and all that stuff like that. How do you feel about those people communicating that term?
If you look at it just as a word, it's almost about respect for like what Indy was saying, as well as Tay was saying. It's almost like a thing of respect. I've had people who grew up in certain areas who use words like that, and to me, for me, if I'm honest. Anytime I hear a non-black person say that word, my neck is always gonna be like, what you said? I'm always gonna do that because that's just a natural thing. Like, girl, what do you mean? But in an instance like that, hey, I've seen it happen. I've seen where different strokes for different folks. Now, if I'm around, would I say something about it? Probably would be like, oh, girl, did you hear that? Or are you okay with that? Just to, check traffic, just to check the temperature in the room. But if you cool, I'm cool because, that ain't got that ain't my battle. That ain't got nothing really to do with me. It's only when you start pointing them fingers at me that I get, as long as you didn't say it to me, I'm okay with it. That's my thing when it comes to that.
No, so I understand. I think that makes sense. I mean, to Indy's point, I think it is something that is personal for people. But I also believe that you can't force me to take on what you believe or not believe. And a lot of times words like nigga is a part of our vocabulary, just like anything else that we say, you know what I mean? And, you know,
like bitch is a form of vocabulary.
Not to say it, especially when you've been saying it for so long.
But, you know,
it's not that easy to say, hey, don't say nigga in front of me when that's a part of your vocabulary already.
But I will play devil's advocate with you, and I'll say the phrase "you curse like a sailor."
Oh, I love to say that.
It comes from somewhere. It means you don't possess the communication skills to express yourself without using vulgar language in public.
Nasty language. You just got you got a nasty mouth. That mouth filthy.
Are we gonna let you slide just because you say nigga's part of my vocabulary? No, you should be able to have class and speak from a way that doesn't offend everybody around you.
So what Indy said just made me think about
that's easier said than done.
Well, so Indy, you bring up a good point, because I'll be honest, if I go to the beauty supply store, right, and I see individuals in there with the bonnet on, slippers, and I hear them, oh, that nigga, that big, at that point, as an African American, I am shrinking, because I feel like, how dare you represent us in public in that way, right? But on the flip side, I may be in a social setting and be like, girl, let me tell you what this nigga said. Because to King's point, it's such a part of my vocabulary. But to your point, Indy, I know it's a time and a place that I'm not just going to be, I'm just not going to do that, because I stand on the shoulders of my ancestors and the giants, and I have to carry myself in a manner. But when we are just alone and we're conversing, at that point, I have a potty mouth.
No, but like I say, you cuss like a sailor. You talk like a sailor.
But that's what we're saying. We're not saying these people. If I walked into a beauty supply and saw a group of white people, just nigga this, nigga that, I'm gonna feel some type of way too. Like, what? But if I'm in the hood and there's a group of people, just a diverse group of people, even if it's majority black and there's some white individuals in there, and I kind of pull up, say I know some people, and Bobby over here is like, yeah, because you know what I mean, I pulled up and then my nigga over here was talking shit, and or I pulled up on my nigga house and stuff like. I'm not gonna think nothing of it, because
did you say Bobby was white? 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 Did you say Bobby? Did you say Bobby was white? Did you say Bobby was white?
You said what?
Did you say Bobby was white?
No, I didn't hear you. Bobby was white, yeah.
Did you also say that Bobby repeated the N-word?
I put it back together.
I said if I walked into a group of people and it's black and white people together and they talking and stuff like that, like say I'm like pulled up in the hood or something where this will happen at, and they say that, I'm not gonna think twice of it.
Y'all see how he just changed what he said, right? Y'all heard how he just changed what he said, right?
No, but what I'm saying is it's not about being in a professional setting. I'm not saying I'm at work and something like this happened.
No, it's about you saying Bobby was white.
Bobby is white. If white and black people are together, if Bobby was even the only white person in the group of black people, and we're all
okay, so you're asking us, are we cool with white Bobby saying the N-word? Is that what you're asking us? Are we cool with white Bobby saying the N-word? Is that what you're asking us?
So I think
I'm not asking you nothing. I'm making a statement. I'm saying if I walked up to a group in my back in the day in my hood, and it was us four in a group, and Bobby was with us too, so it was five of us, And I wouldn't be mad that Bobby is, if he grew up with me and this and that and that, I wouldn't be mad at that. No, I wouldn't, because I grew up like that. I grew up like that. I know I got white friends that say nigga, and me and my black friends didn't say nothing about it. Because of where we grew up, what it was, that we chilled every day together. We hanged out every day together. I didn't say nigga because I was representing the black community. That's just what the language was in the hood. So you adapt to the language in the hood. No one's just walking around like, I'm black, so I say nigga. I'm black, so I say this. I'm black. No, it's an urban thing. That's
you damn sure right. You damn sure right now.
That's why I get mad when people say, oh, you're acting black. No, you're not acting black. You're acting urban, because anybody could be in that urban circle.
Now, what you mean by that now?
Anybody could be in that urban, meaning black, white, Chinese. Anybody can grow up in that urban circle.
I 1000% disagree with you. And
I do too, because I'm trying to figure out what he's trying to say.
I don't think he know what he's trying to say.
I don't know what I mean. I'm trying to figure out what you mean by that now. I was with you now. You had me until you lost me now. What you mean now?
So I think what he's saying, and Ken, correct me if I'm wrong, what you're saying is that talking black isn't it's just urban slang.
It's not a race thing. It's not a black thing. You know, I've been told my whole life. I've been told my whole life. You talk proper. My whole life. I mean, you talk white, and I used to always combat them. No, I don't talk white. I just talk I talk correct English. Like, that's all I do. I don't talk white. So to say that means that, oh, when I say, if I talk slang, then you're telling me that I'm talking black. And I don't think slang is black. I think that's an urban thing. But a lot of people put a slang for black people.
Those are colloquial. Those are just words. Those are just words. No, that's not what are you saying?
How don't you understand what the fuck I'm saying?
Because you're not making sense. Because you're basically going in circles.
Everybody understands what I'm saying, but you don't understand what I'm saying.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
So you think there's a such thing as talking black? So when you say nigga and all of this stuff like that, you say, I only say nigga because I'm black. Or did you learn nigga because it was in the urban, in the hood where it came? It's not a black, saying slang is not a black thing. That's not a black thing. So Keish, you think talking slang is black?
No, I don't. I don't think talking slang is black at all.
Is that not an urban thing?
I think it's a black thing.
Oh, you just said it's not a black thing at all, but then you just said it's a black
thing. I just think it's a black thing.
I don't think it's a black thing. I think we're more than slang. I don't think everybody has a slang.
Okay, it's just some things within our community. I just think it's a black thing. It's a black thing.
I don't think people in the hood say, hey, I'm black, so I'm going to talk like this. I think you're a product of your environment. So you talk the way you come up. If a black person grows up in the suburbs, they're not going to be in a countrywide. They're not going to be talking like that in the proper suburbs. Even in I've been to Houston so many times. There's so many uppity, rich, black neighborhoods. Those people are not talking slang. So why is that a black thing? Why, if them talking proper is considered white, but us talking slang is considered black? But then we get mad that the other world, everybody else that's non-black looks at us so badly because we look at ourselves so badly.
So
we're saying it's a black thing, but when they say it's a black thing, it's a problem.
Much more than the rest of that.
We just had a video the other day. The blind person say, when I walk by and hear someone talk slang, I think it's black. And all of y'all had a problem, not you, Tay, but all of y'all had a problem with him saying that, oh, because you talk slang, it just automatically thinks you're black. Now you're saying it is a black thing. Now you say, so you agree with the blind white guy then?
No, we never said we agree with him, King. You're going off word with it. We never said we agree with him. What? Say it again.
The principle of what you're saying does agree with the white guy. Saying that slang is a black thing, like you just said, is the same thing that white boy said, saying when he passes by and hears when he hears people talking slang, he thinks it's black people. That's congruent to
He
that.
never said when he said that when he hear black people talking aggressively. He never said slang. He never said slang. He never said slang. He never said slang. And first, slang is just a word. It's a terminology. It's colloquial. It's like a colloquial. I don't want you to pull it up because that's a little. At the end of the day, slang. That's just wrong. Okay, well, I'm wrong. You're right. You're right. Yeah, I'm wrong. Yeah, I am very wrong. I am so wrong. You're right. You're right. You're right. Go ahead. Yeah, you're right.
What were you gonna say, Tay? What were you gonna say?
So for me, I grew up in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, right? So I was one of the only black faces in my classroom, stuff like that. And so there was one of my girlfriends, I swear, if you closed your eyes and was blind, when she talked, you would have swore she was African American, but she was white as can be because she just migrated to more her environment. She was more around us. And although when I was at school and I was with my girlfriends, my dialect may be a certain type of way, but to Keisha's point, I do feel like when you're around your grandma, your aunties, your family, when you're around the culture, there are certain words and certain things that we use that resonate in the Black community. Like, go get me that grease, right? Like, go get the grease or whatever. Well, to some people, grease may be hair grease, but to some, we know that that's cooking. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cooking grease. So I agree with both. I understand what y'all are saying. I do think that it is really a product of your environment. There's certain things. When I lived further down south, you start picking up the accent because you're around people that have an accent. So you might start saying certain words because those are things that pop up, etc. So you're a product of your environment. So I guess what the video was sharing was that if the white boy grew up and had, all he hung around were African Americans, and in that particular environment, he started picking up slang that was used in our culture. Are we accepted of it because he is white? Well, we would accept him if he's a part of the culture. We all know white people that are hella cool, that we grew up with, friends with, or whatever, that we like, oh, that's so-and-so. Oh, he cool. You know what I'm saying? We don't look at him as a white, quote unquote, person or white girl, whatever, because there's people that we've, built relationships with, and they're a part of our culture. But then on the flip side, if it's a race divide, is they rocking with the white? Do they pick up the white card when it's appropriate for them? Or do they still be a part of the culture where they was hanging?
The slang, the colloquialism. The slang. Yes, all those things. Yes.
That's a whole nother.
Do you get it now? Do you see it now?
She just agreed with what I said. What are you talking about? Indy, what do you feel about our back and forth?
Indy said he drinking his water.
I'm drinking my water and I'm listening. I think you all made valid points, good points. I want to know what the original question was. You know me. I think the original question was basically, how do we feel about the clip? In that clip, I didn't like it. I didn't feel good about it. As a Black person, I didn't feel good about it. So that's how I feel. I don't feel like he or people who look like him or identify as him should be saying that racially, emotionally charged word. I also
he's
said
biracial. He's Black and white. Does that change or no?
No, because Rachel Dolezal made it to the leader of the NAACP, and we all sat our
She's not
asses
black.
here.
I interviewed Rachel Dolezal. Y'all should go catch that interview. I
You're
interviewed
missing the
her.
point. You're not hearing my point. The point is,
No, but I
white.
was just doing my plug.
Okay, go ahead, plug yourself.
I did already. Go ahead.
Nah, I cut you off. I didn't hear you fully plug it. Plug it.
No, I just said I interviewed her, so go check it out. It's on my YouTube.
Oh, nice, cool, bet. So when you say stuff like that, what I hear is white presenting, black presenting, and it becomes a slippery slope, because then we have Mariah Carey, we have Rachel Dolezal, we got Kim Fields, we got all types of people up in there, and we need to be careful about Eminem and Tekashi 6ix9ine and Erica Mena and all these types of people. She called Spice a blue monkey and made monkey sounds, and then justified it by saying my sons are black. Like all this type of stuff. When you start allowing non
Cardi B too.
I'm not getting there. I don't want to touch on that.
Cardi B too, because she says nigga all the time. She's not black.
I said the people I felt like saying. You can say.
Okay, so it's selective outrage. I just wanted to make sure.
It's not selective outrage.
It is, because Cardi B's a part of that.
She's what?
She's a part of that. She called black people cockroaches, and she says nigga, all this stuff like that, and she's not black. So why does Erica Mena is Spanish? She's Spanish. What's the difference?
So I think my original point was being 100% black and being able to say these words and terms because they reflect on having floated over here on a boat and suffered and had to climb your way up a racially systematized system called America. That was my point. Any other points are not my points.
Martin Luther King Day is coming up next Monday. Martin Luther King, we love you. Dr. King, we love you.
My birthday is January 17th. It's always
all
MLK
right.
Weekend.
Happy birthday, Dr. King.
It's always MLK weekend. This is me. That's my point. I'm done.
I don't
to
mute.
your point,
He went back on mute. He went back on mute.
That's the thing about us. I think as the community, we have selective outrage. We pick and choose who to be mad at and who not to be mad at. And I'm not just saying you, but no one's mad at Cardi B. No one is mad at Cardi B for saying these things to black women, especially. No one's mad at Cardi B for saying nigga. Everyone's mad at Erica Mena and everyone else that's non-black for saying it except a Cardi B. Why? Because we like Cardi B. So then our morals change once it becomes a person that we like or don't like. Which, if your logic is one thing, it should stay across the board.
But ain't Cardi B? Well, never mind. I'll let it go.
She's Dominican.
But isn't it okay?
I mean, it's Spanish. It's Dominican black. Dominican black. Let me know. I don't know. Let me know. Being Dominican.
No, I thought that she had some form of African. I don't know what I thought.
I mean, but to his point is she's not full, right? He's not full. So I guess it's the color of your skin that matters. If you're more lighter, you can't say it. If you're more darker, you can. What about Amara La Negra? She's fully Hispanic, but dark skin. Can she say it?
Absolutely not. Just like Gretchen can't.
Just like who can?
Gretchen.
This makes no sense to me. That the logic doesn't make sense. To me, if you're gonna have a stance, the logic should go across the board, not just to selected people or who you decide. You finish your point. I gotta finish my point.
No, you've said it 3 times. You just repeating the same. We heard you. We are competent people. I swear to God. Relax.
The logic is not competent.
Not you attacking people logic. Oh,
Respective.
get it out. Oh, we hear you. We heard you. We understand you want to be heard, but you ain't got to tap people lives. You ain't got to tap people mind.
I'm not attacking nobody.
Oh, get it out.
Love.
You know, in class, when someone says a low-key joke, the teacher don't get mad because the whole class laughs. When the whole class laughs, that's when it becomes a problem. The fact that y'all making a big deal of it is making it more of a big deal.
Only thing that's saving you is the heart of a woman. Yeah.
Right now, Indy is an artist.
Only
You can
thing
look
that's saving
through.
you.
So is that not as much an outrage or no?
Peace, you are the background with them snaps.
Yeah.
Come on, we do have a show to do. I don't want to wrap this up for 2 hours. We do have a show to do. Let's go. Come on.
Personally, I feel
doesn't matter the skin color.
Personally, I feel like there is a colorist aspect to things. However, there's still a fundamental aspect of it all. And I can't finish. Somebody else pick it up.
So now we done put colorism in here. That's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother can of.
That is.
I mean, but when does the logic happen and when does it stop? When do you say, okay, I'm gonna give that a go, but I'm mad at that? Okay, I like that, but I'm mad at that. What line does that have to? Where does that go?
Well, I really think that it's human culture, right? People are going to use things to justify for their own logic. So we'll never be able to answer that question, in my opinion, because everyone's logic's going to be different. Everybody's going to interpret it the way that they want to interpret it. And so I don't really think it's a clear line. It's just whatever that person's perspective is, right?
Yes.
In regards to that, I think your initial question is a question that if you do the research online, people have been debating this for years. From what is the man name that got the hair? He's a professor. Like, so many people have talked about the word nigga, and if it, like, remember when NWA and all the music came back out in the days, people were all upset. I can't believe that they're on albums saying nigga and da 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 da. There's always going to be a divide about whether we use the word, who can use the word. I mean, that's just going to go on forever. And I just feel like us as a people, you can have your opinions about the word, but there's so many other things that we should be more concerned with, rather than if so-and-so used the N-word or whatever. Like, there's other things that we should be worried about as a community, but that's just my 2 cents.
I agree. I don't think that's the dive people should hit that's the hill people should die on. Okay, guys.
I agree. I don't think it's that deep anymore.
One. You say you don't think what?
I said I agree. I don't think it's that deep anymore. I think that if you're gonna be that offended that it lands you in a fist fight at the gas station,
oh, that's the gas station.
That's what happens for people, though. I just don't think it's that serious. But then again, I don't know what that means for Black people. I don't know if that means that we're admitting that we're ready to let go of the hurt, the pain, and the history of slavery, or if it means we're just maturing enough to understand this can't go on forever. So I don't really know what it means. And I think that's the more important part to me.
I love that you said that, because I think that's what it is as well. We don't know how to, one, let go, or if we even should let go, or do we move on and give grace or not, whatever case it be. I think that was a dope perspective about it. This is gonna be our last thing, and let's go.
Can a woman choose to be a single mother? Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Some women even do it all by themselves. They go to a bank.
To me, if you aren't married or anything like that, when you decide that you want to have that baby and you aren't married, you are deciding to be, in essence, a single mom.
No.
Because if you don't want to be a single mom, you can decide not to be a single mom.
What is your purpose on this planet? Your purpose as a man is to protect and provide your family.
We get that, but that's not the
child
question.
is your family, regardless of what you say after she gets pregnant. That is your responsibility. You do not get to negate your role on this planet as a man and as a
wasn't the
father.
question, Tahoe.
That is not a choice.
Tahoe, that
She
wasn't the
cannot
question.
choose that. I do not choose to walk away from my children.
wasn't the
I do not
question, Tahoe.
choose to walk away from my offspring.
I agree with
That's
you.
who I am. It's what I'm here. I don't.
But
this
that wasn't
clothing and cars and all that. You're here to raise your family.
Absolutely. And I agree with you. I became a father at 17. I agree with you 100%. But when we talking about the choice, if a woman solely can make the choice not to become a single mom when she figures out she's pregnant, she's got options, a few of them. Then hold on. Then she can absolutely choose to be a single mom if she can choose not to be a single mom because she's not married.
Can women choose to be a single mom? And before y'all just start answering, I really want you to think about that question and how you would dissect that question. Before I get to you, Tay, Keish, can women choose to be a single mom?
Good question. A very good question. And question and response. I am Keish from the Ladies Room podcast. And my answer to that question would be, I can only talk about how I was raised. So I can only go off what that looks like to me and in my world. I can say yes. I can say a woman can definitely choose to be a single mom and still raise a child. If I'm answering the question at hand, yes, I can definitely. A woman can choose to be a single mom.
Okay, let me. And I could be wrong, but I feel like what I got from that, and I want you to re-answer real quick, is when he meant choosing to be a single mom, meaning like, once she becomes a single mom, right? Once the dad is no longer there, either he left or whatever the case may be, was that a choice? Like, did she choose the man that was going to leave, or is it just it's not her fault at all and it's just the man's fault? And I could be wrong, but that's what I got from the dialogue that they just had right there.
Well, if you're saying that, recap that question again, that part, because I got a little mixed up and lost in that.
So let's say a post off single mom, right? Somebody that's already a single mom now. Did she choose to be a single mom, whether her husband left her or her man left her, or she had a one-night stand, or the daddy's not there for whatever reason, whatever case it be? Did she choose that, or was that just, I guess?
Well, for me, for the industry that I work in as a hairstylist, me working with women all day, every day, growing up around women, most women, they don't choose for that to happen. It just happens, because most times a woman, when it comes to marriage, all women, I'm going to say this, majority of the women I know want to be married. You know what I'm saying? Now, whether they get married or whether they get divorced, that has always been a thing. For a woman always, for the woman I know, I can only go by the women I know, the women I deal with, it's always wanted to be married. She always wants a husband and this and that. And sometimes in life, some things happen where another choice is being made when she has to choose this choice, and it is not the way that she chose. So I can see it from both ends of the spectrum, I would say.
Okay. That makes sense. I like that. Okay.
So I'm sorry, I interpreted the question a little bit differently.
Okay, how did you
video? When I watched that video, I think what the guy in the red was trying to say is that are women choosing to be single mothers? Well, when you lay down and you have sex with someone and that is not your husband, you are potentially saying there is a likelihood that I may be a single parent.
Parent, yes.
Because I'm not married. You know what I'm saying? Being married and then getting a divorce and all that, put that to the side. That don't have, but when you are single and you're choosing to have sex with someone unprotected, whatever, and you get pregnant, when you find out that you are pregnant, you know at that point whether or not, if I proceed with this, and I think you all had an episode about it where the man said, I don't want to have any children. But the woman got pregnant and proceeded to have the child. She chose to be a single parent because that man had already told you he didn't want any children. But the other man that was on the sofa, his take was, if you have a child, you need to be responsible to raise that child. So, I mean, for me, can a woman be a single parent? Yes. And I do think that a lot of people are choosing whether they admit it or not, because you know, when you lay up with somebody or when you're in a relationship with somebody, you already know their characteristics. They done gave you some sort of flag, some type of something to let you know if they're going to be active in that child's life or not. Is there instances where somebody can play Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde? Yeah, I've seen it firsthand where I would have never thought the dude would walk away and not be a parent to the child. But more times out of less, women know that that man is not going to be a parent, and you're going to be a single parent if you continue to carry that child. Period.
Amen.
Indy?
I agree with Tay, and also I feel like maybe women are a little bit harsh towards other women. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think it's kind of like men when they watch football and they're judging that Monday morning football quarterback play, and they're like, men who can't even jog down their own street. They're telling us all the time, I would have, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's maybe a little bit of it, and I don't blame you, Tay. In your mind, you do make a lot of sense. In my mind, you make a lot of sense. If you're pregnant and you're in a state, like a literal state of the United States, where you have weeks and months to decide on, are you keeping this baby or not? And you see that this man's behavior is not representative of someone who's going to be there for you after you have this baby. Why on earth are you have this baby? And then why on earth are you seeking child support? And then why on earth are you crying on the internet that he's not in your child's life? It spirals down a whole cascade of things.
And I even think even before that, right? So there's dudes, and I can be honest, there's dudes that I know, he ain't no earthly good. Like, I already know what it was. But, you know, maybe that thing was slanging on the slanging. And I'm like, well,
I've been there, girl. I don't been in those situations.
Right. So at that point, if I slanging with the slanging and knew that it was making that conscious choice and mess around and get pregnant,
my God.
Say, ooh, Lord,
my God.
Against my religion, I don't want to kill this child and I don't want to do that. Then guess what I just did? I have decided to be a single parent. Period.
My God.
So you know that. So and then
I'm a little crashing out in my mind.
Yeah.
I'm a little crashing out in my mind because I don't know. Maybe it's me. It has to be me. Like what Cardi B's album, I'm the Drama, because
one of my favorite albums, by the way. I'm not gonna hold you. I love it.
Mine too. We're going on tour.
Oh, nice! Congratulations, Tay.
Go ahead, King. Sorry.
So when I had this conversation last time, right? Tay, you spoke on it, right? Just recently, right? Just 5 minutes ago. I got chewed the fuck out. I got, why do you blame women? Why this? Oh, the man this. Oh, using to that same logic that you just used on the man, right? Because I said, I don't agree with him because me as a dad, I will, take care of my own. But him, I said verbatim, if he told her that he did not want to be a dad and she still decided to be, and I'm going to play the replay once I edit this and go back so y'all can see. I said, if he already told her that he didn't want to be a dad and she still had a dad, she still gave birth, that was her problem. Everyone now right here is agreeing with a parent. She chose to be a parent. Everyone now is like, yes, preach on. Go ahead. You better say that. But when I said the same exact thing, I was bashing women, according to Keish. I was doing this. I was, the man did this. I'm going to replay it. I'm going to replay it. I swear to God. And when you watch the replay, you're going to see what I'm talking about. These two told me how crazy I was in thinking what I thought about that, right? That it was the issue that because he told her exactly what you said. So, boom, let me just say that. But to answer the prompt, I do agree with everyone in this today, apparently, for the first time, agree with everyone that it is her decision.
Thank
right?
God.
She chose.
Thank God.
I can copy and paste what Tay exactly said she knew exactly who she was laying down with, just like I said in the last video with that last guy. She knew exactly that he was a deadbeat. She knew exactly that he's not crap. He knew exactly what type of guy he was, and she still decided to lay with him. She still decided to spread her legs and do the nasty. The same thing I said last time, and I was rebutted and said how crazy I am and how hateful I am to women, and I just bash the women this whole time and blah 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 and blah. And now,
I'm sorry for what you went through. I'm sorry for what you went through.
I guess this one's gonna be quicker.
I'm not.
Let me jump in. Because I am. Okay, you want to speak, my brother?
I'm done. I'm done.
I don't mind you speaking first.
But I'm done. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, King, I'm sorry for what you went through. But we gotta leave space for I'm being for real. We gotta leave space for the fact that, condoms break. Women go into bathrooms and take the sperm out of the condom and inseminate themselves. There's so many opportunities to get pregnant where a woman didn't say, I want to get pregnant. So I don't want us to get so caught up in it where we forget those factors. And that's all I was going to add.
Good. You're right, Indy, in regards to women that are out here. I think motherhood, depending on the age too, but I ain't gonna say age. There's some women that they've always wanted to be a mom, right? Like that is, they don't feel like they are a woman if they are not bearing a child that is important to them. So those particular women, to the video's point, maybe they're caught up in their career. Maybe they are in a same-sex relationship. Maybe they haven't been able to date. That's why they have things like you could get in vitro and all those type of things now where women could ultimately be a single parent in that, in that aspect. Again, as a woman, I just feel that there is no woman watching this show on a different show, whatever. All women, all human beings have an intuition, and when that person ain't no good for you, like it, in your heart. So if you have sex with them, whether it's protected or unprotected, the minute y'all have sex, you are potentially saying, do I want to carry this person's spirit? Do I want to carry this person's child for the rest of my life? Well, that's on you. Like
if it's a one-night stand.
Yeah, because you know what you was doing. And so I feel bad for men. So shout out all the men that are watching. You know, me as a Black woman, I believe that men should have a choice. If you told that woman that you didn't want to have children and that woman still goes ahead and has that child, and then they want to charge you child support, I do not think that is right for a man. I do not believe that. I stand by, you know, men with that. And unfortunately, because I know Black men that pay child support and don't even get a chance to see their kids. So I think that our system, when it comes to fathers and their rights, we got it twisted, but that's a whole nother show. And yeah, so.
Oh, Tay, talk to me, baby. Talk to me. Because that is the truth. I feel like men have no right. I mean, that's not the question, but men have, that's the foundation of it, where men have no say in this space. And it's nothing but the women. That's what everyone was arguing me last time.
And
but the man is responsible. The man is responsible. The man is responsible. I'm not lacking the responsibility of the man. Of course he is. But if he told you, I don't want that responsibility originally, and yet you still decide to do it, I'm not saying get an abortion, because I don't believe in abortion. What I'm saying is, if you lay down with a man and he's telling you, I don't want to deal with a baby, or you after this situation and you have a baby anyway.
What are you telling her? What are you telling her? Be a man.
Huh?
Be a man and talk to me right now. In this moment, right now. You telling me you don't want her to get an abortion. You telling her you don't want her to have a baby. She telling you she's pregnant. So what the fuck are you asking her to do?
If you want to have the baby by yourself, is what I'm telling you.
That's crazy.
It's not.
And if she has an abortion, you don't know what toll that takes on her body.
You know what was crazy? What was crazy when she saw that
you chill out. You were 50%.
That was crazy.
You were 50% the reason she's pregnant.
All right.
Hold on. Chill out. Let me finish what I got to say. Let me finish what I have to say. Let me finish what I have to say. I'm gonna finish what I have to say. All right.
I'm just letting you know on that part.
I'm gonna finish what I have to say.
You can, but you're wrong.
Two people laid in one position to have a baby, 50-50 ownership and accountability. It resulted in a pregnancy. Now one half is telling the other half, you are 100% responsible for deleting, getting rid of the product of us laying down together. And every method that she thinks of getting rid of it results in bodily harm to her in one way or another, even mental health, psychological harm. And you're over there on your side of things saying, but I told you to do it.
Me and Tay are in the same agreements.
So I think, in this scenario, right? And this is, it's a million situations that people have sex. That's why you shouldn't have sex before you get, but I have sex and I ain't married, and it is what it is. And I'm going to continue to do that. But in the scheme of things, in a scenario when a man, I dated a man that had 10 children, 10. Fathered all 10 of those particular children, an amazing father. When I met him, he said, I do not want to have any more children. He told from the gate, I'm not having no more kids. He don't want to have no more kids. Had I gotten pregnant and decided to keep that child, I'm wrong, because we went into the union saying we were cool with not having children, okay? But another flip is if you never have that conversation, y'all lay together and get pregnant, then you tell him, yo, I'm pregnant. And he was like, I don't want that baby, da-da-da-da-da. At that point, I gotta agree with Indy, because you shouldn't have had the act without having the conversation. Period. So
right.
So I blame women and men. Women and men, if you are not married and you are having premarital sex, you need to have that conversation and you need to be clear what your stance is.
It's still, I go off of it this, right? because I say it's the woman's fault. I mean, responsibility don't mean I'm not saying it's the man's responsibility. The man should definitely be responsible because was 50%. But I look at it like this, and I may be wrong, but this is how I look at it. If I know smoking cigarettes gives me cancer, right? If I know that, and I still decide to smoke cigarettes, I can't be mad at the cigarettes once I have cancer because we both were participants in me getting cancer, right? I didn't get cancer on my own. I had to buy the cigarettes and smoke them for me to get cancer. So
But
I cannot
you're wrong
get
in the fact that smoking cigarettes does not equal cancer.
Let me finish my point, though.
Cigarettes
It's an
get
analogy.
cancer. Some people who smoke cigarettes their entire life don't get cancer. That's what makes gambling so addictive, because gambling is sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. It's called the law. It's called the law. Chill out. It's called the law of it's called the law of variable rate. I'm trying to talk.
Because
Relax.
my body has the cancer, no matter if the cigarette gave me the cancer or not, I still got to take responsibility of having the cancer, and I still got to take the responsibility of making sure that, you know what, that was me 100%. Even though my decision making plus the cigarette caused me to have the cancer, it was still 100% my decision to smoke it. So I think the same way with women. Yes, it was both responsibilities for y'all to lay down with each other, but it was your 100% responsibility to even decide to lay down with him before you made it his responsibility to get the consequences of whatever happened with you, because it's your body. That's the surface level of it all. It's under the surface.
Can you stop yelling for a second and let somebody talk?
I don't care because you
stop yelling for a second and let somebody talk. Stop yelling.
I gotta finish. I gotta finish. You can talk after I finish.
You keep yelling, and we need to let somebody talk.
I let y'all talk, so I can talk first. Like I said, you cannot allow somebody to impregnate you. That's totally your decision. That's totally
Is that the point you have made?
100% the woman's decision.
You can't keep making points on top of points and don't let nobody speak. If that's your point, then that's your point, bro.
I can now land my plane how I choose, like everyone else has.
Not when it eats up the whole 20 minutes.
Y'all not understanding.
Okay.
So what's your point?
Okay, thank you. This is a lot.
You need your massager?
We've lost somebody. I want to bring him back in.
He ain't come back in yet.
Okay. What were we even talking about to begin with?
If a woman has the right or has the choice to be a single parent or be a...
Right. Thank you. Let's go back to the point. The point is, the woman has the right to be whatever she wants to be because she's a human being and she's a grown adult and she's consenting. That's the end of the conversation. That's what the current law states. That's what the common social norm is. Now, if we want to elevate the conversation, we'll say, okay, is it right for a woman to have a baby out of wedlock and then go after a man for child support? If that's the next conversation, I didn't hear that. I didn't know that was the next conversation. But if that's where we are today, I'm cool with that. Now I have my point on that. My point on that is, no, it's not right for you to have a baby when you know a dude doesn't want to have a baby with you, and your only objective is to hound them for 25 years over some child support. Now, of course that's not right, because it's ill-intended. It's not intended from a good place. Is that what happens? Absolutely. Do I think that the man and the woman both have a responsibility to not allow that situation to happen? Absolutely. Do I think that either one of them deserves more blame than the other? No, I do not. And that's where we have this fundamental disagreement between me and King. You keep trying to push it off on this woman, and I'm like, I don't.
You earlier said, I'm sorry, but just real quick, you earlier said, let's get back to the topic at hand, right? Let's get back to the topic. You said it multiple times. The question is, do women do women choose to be a single? It didn't say nothing about the man. So the fact that we keep referring to a man when we're only talking about the woman is the issue. We're talking of, that's the topic. The topic is the woman. So it's not saying that the man negates the responsibility. I'm not saying the man should negate the responsibility. But what I'm saying is, because me as a man, if I even have a one-night stand, I'm taking care of my child, because that's me and how I deem my morally correct. But I'm not mad at a child. I mean, a man that has a conversation with a woman prior to laying to them, saying, I don't want a baby, don't have a baby, and then she has the baby, and then him saying, well, I don't feel like I should pay child support. I agree with that. Because if you went into it, to Tay's point, if you went into it knowing this and then still decided to, you know what, I want to have a baby for whatever choice, then you're deciding and choosing to be a single mom, to go back to the prompt. I agree with you, Indy. I swear, I know you're a good man, so you're speaking from your perspective of what you would do. And I know you would be a great father. I know I would be a great father. I know Keish would be a great father, being that, because I know the men that you are. You feel what I'm saying? I know that y'all will even have one night stands and still be the father of the kids because of the morally. But what I'm saying is, I also understand if Keish was about to have sex with Tay and Tay said, hey, boo, I mean, if Keish said, hey, you know, we're doing this, I'm going in raw, but I don't want to deal with anything that comes out of it. If Tay says yes, I'm okay with that, then it now becomes Tay's full responsibility for herself, not the duo and the baby, but for herself and her body. She now becomes 100% responsible for what happens to her body, because she said, you know what? Yes, I'm saying, yes, I know you don't want to have a baby, but yes, I'm still allowing you to enter me raw, the consequences that what can happen. That's all I'm saying.
And may I ask a question?
Oh, I got a.
No, go
okay,
ahead.
you have a question too? Go ahead. Ladies first.
Oh, he's such a good man. No, so in King's scenario, what he just said, something hit my spirit. And I have to say it. If that man went up in there raw after saying that he didn't want to have a kid, at that point, it's almost like the cigarettes. Because you know that there is a 50-50 chance that girl could have a baby.
Yes, agreed. That does take.
So if he does it, even though he said he did not want to have a child, I think what Indy was saying earlier, he has to assume some of the responsibility.
Of course. Morally, yes. Morally, yes, definitely. That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying, listen to the context. Take the man out of it, right? Take you as the person, just you. I cannot force you to do anything you don't want to do at all, right? Because you're the one pregnant. You are. So solely leaving that context alone, that you're the one that gets the outcome of this, right? Because you're pregnant, the man can leave and you can never see it, but you still got that child in your belly. So I'm saying because of that, right? You take full responsibility of what happens to your body. Yes, I take the responsibility if I fuck you raw, right? Because I'm fucking you raw. But you still have 100% consent to tell me no or yes. Because you know, right? Even though I could be dumb, I could be ignorant and say, you know what? I know I can fuck her and get her pregnant, but I don't give a fuck, right? Because I can have that mentality. It's still up to you and for you to be responsible for yourself to say, you know what? This nigga is in another raw. He still said he didn't want no baby. He said he's gonna go with me raw. Maybe that's not the right decision for me, because if I get pregnant, he ain't gonna be in my life. He ain't gonna take. So is that not your 100% responsibility?
And let me guess, she's drunk, but you're not drunk. She's horny, but you're not horny. It's late night for her, but it's daytime for you. Like I'm trying to understand. Like you You want her to be in a different. You
great,
want.
man. That's great.
I haven't been able to speak in a minute, and I want to be able to speak.
You can speak. Just talk. Just talk. You cutting it off is making it a deal. Just talk.
I was talking. You weren't. I'm trying to say this right here. So she's drunk and you're not. She has limited decision making, but you don't, right? It's nighttime for her, but it's daytime for you. You sober, ready to go to work. She's doing all these bad decisions, right? It's weekends for her, but it's weekdays for you. In the court of law, none of this would hold up. You would have to decide. You would have to demonstrate, excuse me, that I when you're done talking, I'll talk. I'm
just going off of what you're saying. That's what a conversation.
But you don't let me do that when it's you talking.
Off of what you're saying.
Okay, all right.
Keep going.
Here's what I'm saying. You are putting way too much responsibility on the woman.
It should.
No, I disagree. It takes a sperm and an egg to make an embryo. It takes an embryo to make a baby.
I'm not disagreeing.
You cannot say that just because it comes out of one of the persons, they have some higher responsibility to ensure the livelihood of that being. It took two beings to make it. The being that baby comes out of is already known to be a weaker being physically. Societally, they make less money than men because of gender biases. If they're black, they have a bias against them for being black. And you're expecting that being with all these chips stacked against them to be equal to you. It's irresponsible.
That's what I said.
It's irresponsible. It's irresponsible and it's whack.
You're arguing a point I didn't make.
Okay. Let me be quiet so I can hear the point that you made. I'm so sorry.
I'm just saying you're arguing a point that you didn't. I didn't say that. I agree with you. In certain, first off, there's always a majority, and there's always the rule, and then the exception to the rules. There's always exception to the rules, right? There's always a minority group that doesn't follow the majority, right? Because of whatever differences that they have, right? Gay is a exception to the rule because the majority of people are not gay, so that's an exception. So there's a group of people out there. So I'm not talking about that specific situation where someone's drunk. Me personally, I wouldn't have sex with anybody that's drunk and I'm sober. To me personally, that's rape, right? Because they're not in the right state of mind. My person or not. So that situation wouldn't happen to me. All I'm saying is, just like let's move it to men, because I think to say women, it triggers people. It makes it like, oh, I gotta defend. And as a man, you should feel like you have to defend a woman.
Well,
right?
before you go to the man part, just something that Indy had said, as a woman, even if I say, I think that all parties have equal, we're all mature. If you're having sex, you should be mature and you should be able to make a decision. I can say in the heat of the moment, and I'm just going to say for Tay, put all my business out there. It's been times and I was like, no, I don't want to do it, but then they got to getting good. He was smelling good and it was a little whatever. And I said, you know what? Go on and do that thing, and we end up doing it.
But that's still not right.
Right, but in my logic brain, it was like the good angel and the bad angel. It said, girl, you know you shouldn't do it. And the other one was like, girl, go ahead and bust it down. And so,
you just made my point. You just made my point right there. Good before that angel, bad before this angel. Good said, don't do it. Bad said to do it. So just using that logic, what you use, that's your self-conscience, right? That's not saying, oh, it's bad for him to do it because I'm not responsible for what anybody else does. That's the point I'm making. I'm not responsible for the person robbing my house, right? Because he's going to do it regardless, regardless if I think it's right or not, right? The court of law still says he's going to get locked up. That doesn't stop him from doing it because he has whatever in his mind to do it. But it's my job, if I know I live in a neighborhood that I can get robbed, to lock my door, right? Not leave my door open in the middle of the night, right? And stuff like that. But if I leave my door open in the middle of the night, yes, it's not my fault that I got robbed, right? It's not, right? Because the robber robbed me. but I have to take some type of responsibility to know what situation I'm in and protect myself, because I only can protect myself as a man. In that situation, if it was reversed and a man went into it and had a one-night stand and wanted the kid and said, hey, man, we're about to fuck. If something happens, I'm going to be here. God forbid, if something happens, I'm going to be here. And the girl says, no, I don't want a baby. But yet she still has a baby and then has an abortion. Do we still have that same inkling that, oh, it's both responsibilities, it's both he, she? No, because then we don't give a fuck about the man's opinion, and we still say the girl was right to choose for her to give it because it came out of, why did we use that? Because it came out of her body, right? So she decides to choose what happens. She can choose to abort it if the man wants it. She could choose not to if the man doesn't want it, regardless. So my thing is, the logic don't go across the board with it. So we're going to say that, then we should say it for the man. So then she should be legally, which is not legally, but she should be legally able to keep it if the man says, I'm going to be a dad. I am going to be a dad. But because it's coming out of her body, men's voices don't count. But now, when I say because she does have the baby, she should take more responsibility in who she lays with. Now it's, well, just because it comes out of her body, she shouldn't have more responsibility. But why does she have the responsibility when it comes out of her body if she wants an abortion, but it's not her responsibility if the dad doesn't want to be there and there's child support involved? Does that logic, honestly, and I may not be, does that make sense, Tay? Honestly.
Yeah, I get it. That's what I was saying in the beginning. Men don't really have a whole lot of choice about the outcome of the baby. So that was what I was saying before, because even if the girl decides to have it, there's a possibility too. He may not even get a chance to see the kid because she might say, he ain't gonna come see my baby and so I do think that men get.
And that's my only point. Because that can happen, you should be more responsible for what you do. Just like if I don't want I'm trying to think of something that's logical to this. If I don't want to gain weight, I can't keep eating and then keep getting mad at the food versus me eating the food.
Right. Well, I think I know for me, I got the point of what you're saying. Again, I think you said it a little bit ago. It comes down to logic, right? For me, my stance is, as a woman, I do bear the responsibility if I'm with somebody and I know I can get pregnant, I should be more cognizant of who I'm having sex with, so that it's not a shock to me about their stance on parenting or whatever the case may be. If I choose not to do that and I'm out here being reckless and loose and I get pregnant, I gotta eat it if that man does not support being a father. I can't be mad at him. I can't be, all men are horrible, all of that. No, because again, you chose to give your body up to somebody without solely knowing where you all stood in morals and parenting and all of that type of stuff. So that's just.
By the way, Indy, the clips of your house I'm getting looks beautiful. The clips I'm getting of when you walk around and stuff, it looks dope.
Thank you.
Keisha, you haven't said anything for a while. You kept going out.
My phone has died 2 times since I've been here. My phone has died twice.
Do you have anything to say?
No, because I said my stance on that about that last week, and I still stand firm in that. I agree with what you were saying. So I still stand firm in my beliefs about that.
I didn't get a chance to hear what you said last week. Just real brief.
Petty Indy.
I hate her so much.
I'm curious though. I like when Keith says stuff. He has good opinions. I want to hear what he has to say.
My opinion, the only thing I recall, just to sum it up, just to sum it on up, because the phone is dying. This phone dying. To sum it up for me, I agree. What was the question at hand? Take me back. What was the question? Because it was so many points being made. It just be so many points being made.
Do women have a choice in being a single parent, a single mom?
Okay, I made my did I say? I said what did I say
you did say you was like you agree with both sides.
I agree with both sides. But what was the last conversation that y'all was having about the woman
the responsibility men and women have? That I was like, women bear more responsibility because they are having the actual baby, and that because you're being laid with, that you should basically choose better, right? If you know that this is a fuck nigga, then you can't expect anything different from that fuck nigga.
Oh God, that was last week's conversation about the baby mama and all that. My today answer is just to keep peace, is that I agree with you, King. I definitely agree with you.
I love King. She's so messy.
I definitely agree with you, King, because you was very right when you said that, she needs to choose better. She must choose better. We don't want her out here choosing, fuck niggas. Fuck niggas, if those are not, if my grandma always told me, if you lay down with a dog, you'll get up with fleas. So if you lay down with that dog, you cannot expect to get up with roses. You got to understand that you laid down with bed bugs, so you're gonna get up with bed bugs. So hey.
To your point, my brother married a woman and 8 months later divorced because she, for 8 months, misrepresented her truth.
Oh, wow.
I don't think it's one-sided. It's both-sided.
Of course.
Everyone has to present the truth of themselves. So now that kind of takes away a little bit from the point you're trying to make. That is the woman's responsibility. Both sides have to present the truth of themselves. A man can have a whole addiction problem, get married to a woman. She's thinking she's getting one man, she's getting three. It's not fair that we put all this responsibility on women. That's my thoughts.
I agree with that. It's not, because it is 50-50 on the responsibility, agreed. But I just think that sometimes what frustrates me a little bit is that every time we talk only, like when we have men topics, we could just talk about men and say this and this. But when we have women topics, we have to bring in the men. And it's not saying that the man is not responsible, but we're just talking about women. And so that was my regard. Is because I agree with you. It is both responsibilities. The man is responsible because he did lay with her raw, and we all know the circumstances of what happens when you lay with somebody raw, the possibilities of what happens. So it's not that I disagree that men they shouldn't be responsible, but all I'm saying is, if we're talking about women, I'm only gonna respond on women.
I didn't realize we were only talking about women.
But the question was
I didn't get that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't get that memo.
Well, he like to bash women at times. He like to bash women. So
you see, that's what I get. I like to bash women when we're only communicating, because the question was just, do women decide to be single mothers? That's it. It didn't say do men, contribute to that.
Who's picking these questions? Who's picking the questions?
I got a question,
I
but
just find them
2 hours, so I ain't gonna say it. But king bashing women, what? But that's a whole nother show. We'll come back to that.
Yeah,
because I know King personally. But I'm just saying, I know King, and so for me, I feel like, so I'm curious where that came from, and maybe I haven't watched enough episodes to see that part. But you know,
I hold women accountable, and it comes off as bashing all the time. That's what happens.
Oh, okay, got it.
Like Kevin Samuels.
Well, I never said women are ugly, fat. I never said that, and I would never say that. He goes to the extreme. Kevin Samuels would be a radical version of me, I guess.
Yeah, he went to the extreme. He doesn't do that.
I love that. I would never bash a woman, but I will always hold everyone accountable, just like I hold myself accountable. But on that note, we're gonna end because I love ending on Indy's point where, you know, if we all live in our truth, then none of this will happen and be our complete self. You know what I'm saying? I do, you know, I've been this whole year moving with intentions. And if you're intentional on everything that you put out, like I'm, you know, right, for example, I'm talking to somebody right now, and I wouldn't have found this person if I wasn't intentional in who I presented myself to be. And I realized a lot of my old relationships and old dealings didn't work out because I lived a falsehood trying to please everyone else around me and to accommodate myself to what they wanted in a man or what this and this. So now I went in there. This is who I am. This is what I want. This is what I choose for. And I got a lot of backlash, but that weeded out all the people that weren't for me and brought the person that is for me to the top. You feel what I'm saying? So I 100% agree with Indy on moving with attention. And that's dope. I know you move with attention because you wouldn't be as successful as you are without moving with attention. And guys, I also want to leave off on a note, just because you see us get heated and we get crazy, please remember this is a show. I love everyone here. I respect everyone here. I have nothing but the utmost for everyone here. They're dope individuals and very, very successful Black individuals. So they are nothing of the statistic of what we talk about in slang and all of that other stuff. You know what I mean? So these are really, really remarkable human beings here. So make sure y'all follow everyone. Before I do my outro, please tell everyone where they can follow you and all that good stuff.
Well, I'll go. So, hey, y'all, and I'm just going to do a plug, too, because King didn't say it, and he know I'm going to always drop a commercial. But y'all know King's birthday is coming up. So anybody watching this, make sure that y'all come to the DRC Experience, 4th annual. I'll be there hosting, so it's going to be a vibe. So make sure that you all get the tickets and, you know, just come out and show him some love, especially if you've been watching this and you know all of the things that King does. You know, just give him his flowers. It's his birthday and all of the good things. So I was happy to finally be on here. I be hearing y'all going back and forth and it gets good. But follow me on all social media platforms, Pep Talk Tay, because in life, everyone can use a little pep talk. And if you need one, I got you. So that's it. That's me.
Period. Keish.
I'm next. Good God. I'm Keish. You can follow me on the Ladies Room podcast. That's the with 2 E's, THEE, Ladies Room Podcast, TLR. Or you can follow my personal page. That's the City Cinderella, where you can see me and all of my spiciness and all of my hair talk. Or you can follow. Oh, I just started TikTok. Y'all gotta follow me on TikTok too. Follow me on TikTok. I just started this TikTok called Press in a Dress. So I want y'all to come and follow me on Press and a Dress, where I'm going to talk about all my things that I want to press out in a dress. So yeah, follow me there on TikTok. Yeah.
That's a cute name. I love that name.
Yes.
And Indy?
I love Press in a Dress. That was actually pretty lit. You can follow me anywhere at Industry Standard, aka Indy. I have a new song coming out called Lifeline on February 14th, Valentine's Day. It's a love song.
That's B-Day.
It is. It's B-Day. It's a love song. Hope you guys get into it. And thank you so much for having me on this podcast. I've had a good time with you.
Yes. Indy, Tay, I'm gonna connect that to. She does.
Yeah, you must have
live.
be like, yeah.
Yeah, she does new music. Go ahead, plug yourself.
Oh, so on top of being pep talks and all that, my main thing is music. Music is my love language. So every
nice.
Friday, I do a new music Friday, things that you need to add to your playlist. And
Ooh.
in February, we're rolling out a brand new show. And so we definitely need to make sure that you get added to Tay's playlist. So then that way.
How do I keep in touch with you?
So
I'll give you the connection.
You'll make it happen for us? Please
Yeah,
make it.
I'll give you connect.
Thank you. I would love that. Thank you so
And
much.
anybody else who's an independent artist, please feel free to follow me. Now, keep in mind, if it's a hot mess, I'm not playing it because I'm only adding what you listen to. Sorry.
That's hot.
Great. She does a plethora of other things. She is well connected. She is the host of Atlanta. She's connected. I'm going to talk about with performance venues, PR, media. When I tell you she's really being humble right now, but she is definitely the go out here. So please, I'm definitely connect you, Indy, because she is really, really, really pivotal out here. And guys, you already know I'm King, the Royal Couch. As she said, the RC Experience is coming up January 26th, 6 to 11. I got amazing performances. I got amazing designers. I got amazing honorees that are going to show up. Some cute and dope pop-ups and things like that. So this for you guys. So please know, guys, you are in for an experience. That's why it's called the DRC Experience. This is my 4th annual one. Media, Getty Images, all of the above will be there. So, you know, Getty Images is the picture to take, okay? Not just a picture, that's the picture to take. So make sure y'all step by if you want to. And that is the show. I'm going to end with my outro, which is going to also plug in the Royal Couch so you can see all my honorees and guests and stuff. And guys, Megan Rochelle is my headliner. She is a huge artist from back in the day that she will be doing her debut coming back into the industry at the Royal Couch Experience. It's going to be a big deal. So make sure y'all pop out.
Yeah.
Welcome to the DRC Experience.
Lights on the walls, art breed fashion, royal conversations, real life passion, black tie drip but the soul stay raw. Every story got a crown, every voice got a cause. From the couch to the culture, we elevate. Legacy in the room, yeah, we celebrate.
DRC's Experience, DRC's Experience.
Feel the difference.
Experience, DRC's Experience, DRC's Experience.
Say it again. Gallery lights, silk and leather, paint on skin, we change the weather. Champagne talks, visions loud, every dream walking through the crowd.
DRC's Experience.
Yeah.
DRC's Experience.
And until next time, peace.